welcome back to Liberty Life by Lisa. Yay! Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2021. Oh, goodbye, good riddance 2020. I feel the same as everybody else. 2020 handed me some life-changing moments. You can't help but turn that frown upside down and see the blessings of certain things and know that this too shall pass, and you make a new plan. And this is kind of what the New Year is all about. That's how I see it. I don't see it as setting up resolutions that I'm not going to achieve. I'm going to set up goals and concentrate on the process of achieving those goals, focusing on that process and assisting in that process. It is a time where it's okay to really self-focus what you think and how you're impacting all of the people around you, including your community, and can you improve on any of those. And I think you're a fool if you think that you can't improve, because I think life is about always improving. It's an evolving, I hope for most people, although I have seen some people that haven't evolved too much, but I like to think that everyone is in that, wants to be more enlightened about life and learning and looking at things and trying to take away what the learnings are about situations. So it is about self-reflection this time of year. And I do a few different things every year. And this year I'm so excited because, one, I have this YouTube channel so I can chat with y'all as we're in this pandemic still together. New year, same pandemic. I'm excited about a few things that I've initiated this year and I want to share them. So let's get started. First of all, I think the actual physical side of writing down, doodling, drawing, there's real value in that. And you just start scribbling down and really self-reflecting, and pretty soon it evolves into things that you feel are important and that you'd like to change. So I kind of categorize it as I self-reflect, and they always seem to fall into a certain amount of categories. I'm in the center with mind, body and spirit in the center, and then you have your relationships, career and finance. I have creativity and intellect and life and living. Then you kind of put that aside. You put that aside because I feel like those are the things that impact you and that you can impact. You being the center of your world should have an even amount of goals that surround that nucleus, right, in those several categories. I think if you don't, it's not going to be a balanced year for you. There has to be a balance there. Then you do have these various things that you want to write and improve. And even personality aspects. I've put like even something like patience. Like, listen, I've been working on patience for years and I'm still not not the greatest at it. But instead of concentrating on that, what is the process to improve something like that? And maybe it's even flexibility. Well, maybe you do yoga. Patience, maybe you do some meditation or more walks outside. Again, focus on the process. And that comes from a book called Atomic Goals. And I'll link it below. Lessons learned that came out of the books. And I really like that one. I think focusing on the process is the best way to achieve a goal. 90% of the people that make a plan achieve their goals. Making a plan is putting your best foot forward. And I actually have hard goals. And these are actually quantitative ones that I like to achieve. And instead of like saying, I want to lose so many pounds, maybe it's that you want to get to another size clothing. I would do more of a soft, and it's about just being easy on yourself. Books that I want to read. How many books do I want to read next year? So make some quantitative things. Things even around your home. There's rooms that I want to finish here in the house. So, and again, that's a hard goal, but what is it in January that I need to do? Also concentrating on the plan, January, February, March, and the budget that's going to be required, and how many months is that going to take me to save in order to achieve that goal. This here is my workout page, and although I have an Apple Watch and I track my activities that way, I actually follow Lady Gang and Kelty Knight she's an amazing bullet journaler, I think it's called. And she had a workout thing that I thought was so awesome, where it's just January to December and 1 to 31, and you just color in the workouts. And actually, there, I already did 2 workouts this year. The next way that I utilize goal visioning early in the year is doing it online. And there's a few different apps that I'd like to tell you that I love to use. Notion being one of them. Keep track of everything here, from my business goals and to-do lists and minute taking and action items, to even the grocery list is on there. And I actually keep track of books and things like that, and good Lord, Netflix series that we've watched, because who can even keep track of all the stuff that you watch these days. I use ihealth, the health tracking, and there's so many of them. I'm sure everyone has their favorite, but the iWatch is connected to some of them, so it made it easy for me to track health. And I track my blood pressure, my beats per minute, and my activities on there as well. So those are fun. The other thing that I really like to do is on Pinterest. I really enjoy going on Pinterest, creating a secret board, and doing a vision board on Pinterest. I think that's an awesome way to do vision boards, because you can, one, search anything and find an image of pretty much anything on Pinterest. So that's a fun way to create. And then you can flip through your board and add to it as the year goes on if you like. And now, my routines for 2021 that I was excited to tell you about. So it's called the Wim Hof Breathing Method. I heard about it through another YouTuber, and I downloaded the book. It is incredible. It is awesome. And I am day 5 now, and it's a breathing practice, and I do it twice a day. I would do it 3 times a day, but it's a little hard if your significant other is sleeping. I'd make too much noise. So I don't do it in bed. And it's about mind over matter, preconceived ideas about life, and I put my legs in the icy cold pool and I didn't die, and yeah. So anyway, it is, I would highly recommend it. It's a book, but on YouTube you can go on, and it's a 10-minute exercise, and just do it. Trust me, it's incredible what you feel. And so I'm looking forward to actually seeing what the positive outcomes of that. My camera failed me. It, for some reason, stopped recording. I pick up the next day where I left off. The second part of Wim Hof's practice that I'm doing is rinsing with cold water, which is so crazy for me because I have always lived a life of being afraid of cold water. I don't like swimming pool without it being fairly warm. The shower, I turned it on and removed my arm as quickly as I could. It is this practice of mind over matter, and I think it is a fantastic thing for anyone to read about and understand. And I want to say that Wim's practice has been scrutinized, and he has cooperated with all kinds of scientific and medical testing, and because the whole reason for doing the breathing and the cold rinse of water after you're done your normal shower, then you rinse for 2 minutes, is because of his improvements in health and wellness. I talked to my kids about it, and they said that's kind of old news. It was trending like a few years ago, but I missed out on the trend, but I'm happy to find it now, and I've been practicing it consistently 2 times a day, and I must say I feel great. His claim is that he can lower your beats per minute by 10 after 7 days. So I'm willing to put that to the test. Stay tuned for some of the results of that. Another thing that I'm doing this year, as I have done in the past, over the last 3 years, I consistently incorporate a fast into my life, and I'll probably do a fast once or twice a year, and it can range from Certainly it can range from 24 hours, 3 days to 5 days. I think the longest I've done, maybe a 7-day. Of course you lose pounds in water, but for me it was more the results of autophagy that I was aiming for, because it triggered when I was losing friends and family to cancer to be curious about cancer cells. And I'm also fearful of Alzheimer's, dementia in older age. Read Obesity Code and started being very curious about autophagy, and have read and watched what I can on those subjects. So I encourage you to do that if you don't know about autophagy. I think several years ago a Japanese doctor discovered this and put it forward to the medical community, and it has been accepted. And it's incredible because it does clean cancer cells. Your body goes into a natural cleansing when it's not processing food and doing its natural functions that it does each and every day. When you put that aside and fast, which is totally safe, although you should, if you're taking medications, you should consult your doctor, of course. As a human race, ancestors of ours had naturally had to fast. And when you think about the globe spiritually wise, fasts are incorporated into so many religions. So I think the statistic in Obesity Code was that 1/3 of the world is already fasting as a spiritual practice. So not to be fearful of it. The fact that I can go a day or more in fasting is just a practice that I think that we should all do, especially given the amount of cancers and sickness that there is surrounding us today. The last thing that I want to talk about is a book that I'm currently reading, and it's a really fantastic book to kick off 2021, and it's called Untamed. I've got Wim Hof's book and Untamed by Glennon Doyle, and they're couldn't be more opposite from each other, but I guess the bottom line is taking hold of your life and making changes where you see that changes need to happen, and live according to yourself. The question that is posed by Glennon Doyle, the author, is what is your truest and most beautiful life? And so I pose that question to you. And the other thing is, be still and know you know what your truest and most beautiful life is. And as you sit down to doodle words and pictures and caricatures, and as you start visualizing what 2021 means to you and what you want your life to be, I want you to think about what your truest and most beautiful life is. I believe in ask and you shall receive. Doodle, start writing quantitative goals, make your plan, vision board it. These are all things that you do for you. I challenge you to sit down and spend a couple of hours Saturday, Sunday, and really ponder that question of what is my truest and most beautiful life. I wish everyone a happy new year. I hope that your plan of action is something that you enjoy doing, because there's nothing more enjoyable than trying to see your future the way you want it. See you next week.